came across a tweet this week, and in it said, "Is anyone already feeling anxious about the end of the pandemic and returning to normal?" Whatever that normal might mean for that individual. So I want to talk about emotional intelligence with respect to this particular tweet. Let's follow, in all likelihood, where this began from. This individual had a thought. At some point, the pandemic's going to end, and I'm going to be returning to normal. Things around me will return to normal. And after that thought, what happened was the emotional experience of anxiety. And not just the emotional experience, feeling anxious. So we went from emotion to feeling. And then the transfer of that feeling and thinking into a tweet. And as soon as we come out of 90 seconds, we're looking at an adjustment to our mood, enough that we're going to communicate and share it with other people. And so now this flash in the pan emotion from a thought has been felt throughout our body, identified as anxiety and communicated, and now it's influencing our mood, how we're behaving. All because a few critical emotional intelligence skills are missing. One is emotional self-awareness. So being aware that something we're thinking about is influencing how we're feeling. And then the second skill is found in our stress management realm of emotional intelligence, flexibility. It's our ability to adapt our feelings, our emotions, our thinking, and our behavior. But you see, flexibility does not stand alone as an emotional intelligence skill. It's supported by 3 other skills. And a critical skill that's important for being flexible, for adapting our emotional state at any given time, is impulse control. So when we have a thought like the pandemic will end and things will return to normal, and we chase that thought, we're not using our impulse control. So when we chase a thought, we're really going down the rabbit hole of, oh my goodness, this will happen, this won't happen, what will I do, what won't I do, how will this turn out? And we can see that the snowball of our emotional experience follows behind it. So the skill of impulse control is our ability to resist the rash decision making, to resist the temptation to sprint down that rabbit hole and instead go, whoop, hang on a second here. Is this happening right now? It isn't. So let's not chase that thought. And instead, let's flex and adapt our emotion back to the state that we were in before that thought appeared. And now the next emotional intelligence skill that we use with flexibility is problem solving. When have I faced change before? You and I have a ton of examples from 2020, even entering 2021, and probably lots of examples our whole life. So it doesn't take much to take a look back and go, when have I handled change before? What attributes did I use to manage and navigate that change in a healthy way? Then we're identifying we've got attributes we can use for any change that comes our way. But we also want to look back and go, what didn't I do well? What weaknesses of mine showed up that didn't allow me to navigate through change very successfully? Turns out I don't have impulse control. Turns out I leap before I look. So I'm missing that kind of a skill. And when we identify those weaknesses, we need to close the gap. So the next challenge that we face, we have the attributes and skills to be able to face it successfully. And truth be told, a lot of individuals, teams, and organizations are lacking the emotional intelligence skills to be able to tackle things like change successfully.